Hi, welcome to my channel, Josh Gordon Music. This is a Line 6 HX Stomp preset build video aimed for beginners. We're going to build a rock preset. I call it a rock preset. It's a general preset where it covers clean, dirt tones, and adds some lead boost and delay. And we'll also have, there'll be reverb and an EQ for tone shaping. And it's all going to be here just on the stomp and no external switches, just using these 3 switches. So basically I've taken the third switch, which usually by default is the tap tuner switch, so I've changed that to a stomp 3. If you need a tuner, tons of great clip-on tuners you can use, and just, if you want to leave it on your guitar while you're playing, great, or stick it in your pocket. But this preset is made so that you can just use the stomp on the gig. No other pedals, no board. It's made for convenience, portability, compactness, and also designed for the studio because it does have amp and cab sims in it. Running this preset through an amplifier probably won't sound so good because of the amp and cab sims, but you can definitely use this at a gig with an FR monitor or a powered PA speaker monitor, or run it into your band's system, your PA system, and you have a floor monitor for yourself so you can hear yourself. This will work great. And you can definitely take this to a band rehearsal, or if you want to, take this, go to an open jam and you just want to bring one thing, this unit fits in a gig bag pocket, no problem. All right, so let's get started. And before we do, I just want to do the housekeeping here and say I appreciate all the views, all the thumbs ups, the likes. I appreciate all of you who have returned to the channel and are taking a look at this video, because I usually do Pod Go. I'm starting to get into the HX Stomp, so I'm going to do some videos for that. But as always, I appreciate each and every one of you who've taken the time to watch any of my videos, and thank you for all those who have subscribed. So in the description box below, you can hit that subscription button and ring that notification bell if you like what you see, and because there'll be more preset videos coming for the Line 6 Pod Go and the HX Stomp. All right, let's get to the preset. All right, let's get started on our preset build. So this preset's going to be a simple preset for, let's say, rock guitar purposes, okay? And you can use this definitely for your home studio recordings. You can use it if you're going to a rehearsal or an open jam, and even a gig. Now, we're going to be using amps and a cab sim, so running it through, a traditional amplifier, whether it be solid state or tube, this preset, might not be the one for you. And I am going to do a preset video where we're going to use this as more like a pedal board for a real amp. So in this video, it's going to be with amp and cab sim. So you could run this, through front of house, through the PA, FR, or a powered monitor, PA monitor of your choice. Okay, so first things first, I have my preset slot selected, and one thing I like to do is, just in case you've been using your device, your unit on gigs, and you've had to tweak global EQ, I like to check the global EQ to make sure that it's back to default. So let's hit these 2 page buttons, and then page right, global EQ, tap on that. Okay, and I don't believe I've touched anything on here. I haven't used the global EQ on this for a long time, but let's say you did. Hit the action button, and there you see reset EQ, and then hit OK. Okay, so let's get back to the preset. Okay, and then the view I want, because I want to see my switch assignments and whatnot, so I'm going to hit the page button, page, and there we go. Okay, so let's hit view at the top here. And now we can get started. All right, so the guitar I'm using is it's a 2016 Les Paul, and I'm running it this directly into my Scarlett Focusrite 18i20 interface, and I'm using Logic Pro, and I also have KRK5 studio monitors. So the sound you're hearing is studio monitors. Now here's the guitar. Okay, so nothing there. I have it in the in-between settings for both pickups. All right, so let's start. First thing I'm gonna do is I want to add a, oops, I'm gonna add there, a amp. Okay, so let's go down to the amp. I want a clean one. Probably let's go for a Fender. So let's build like with a Fender clean and a Marshall dirt, or Marshall style dirt. So let's get, the Princess is nice. The US to Princeton, or if we want a deluxe reverb, let's do a deluxe reverb, okay? And I want to make it really clean. So I'm gonna put, I know it's pretty clean in general, but I'll put the drive down there. I find Les Paul's a little on the boomier side, so I'm gonna put the bass down to 4. Mid is fine. Treble, I'm gonna bump that up a little bit. Presence, I'm gonna put up, okay? Now that's a loud channel volume, but let's see what's the amp. Master's at 10, so as I do this too, to get levels, let's just do this here. Okay, so I'm looking at my meter in Logic Pro, so that's up quite a bit. So I am gonna turn the channel volume down. Let's do it to 6, and let's see. Okay, 6 is a good level, because on my my fader in Logic, that's putting me at about like between -6 and -9 dB. So that basically, that gives me headroom for recording and whatnot. So I'm okay with this level. That's just the amp. So let's leave that be. And you can play with the sag and the hum. So I'm gonna put the sag up. I don't touch the hum. These are just kind of things that I've done in the past with Pod Go, and on here as well. So I'm gonna put the bias up to there, and let's put this up to 6. There's no real method to this madness there. Okay, so we're good there. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the bass down a little more. Believe me, this isn't gonna kill it. And let's put the mid down a little bit. Let's try this again. Okay, so next what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put another amp. Okay, so the next amp I'm gonna add, let's find you can hear as I go through the hissing. And we're gonna fix that in a second, because it's something I forgot that I usually do on the first part. Let's add a, you know what, I wanna add a placator, like the Friedman style. So placator dirty, and you can hear the hissing. And guess what? Put the gate on, there. Takes care of that. And you can play with the threshold if you find like the notes are getting choked or cut out a little too early. You play with that, but let's, for now, for this video, let's leave it. Now what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to test the placator after I set this up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hit the action button, and then I'm gonna put that placator on another path. Okay, now there are many reasons to do a parallel path. There are many reasons not to. I don't think for what I'm going to build here, I don't know if it's really necessary, because what we're going to do is we're going to toggle between these two amps. We're not going to need a distortion pedal or whatnot. I believe you'll hear in the end when this preset is built why. We're going to add obviously a cabinet. We're going to add a boost, because I like a lead boost. And we're going to add delay and reverb. But the reason I'm doing this is, you know, it's going to be on a different signal path, but more so, I can visually see which amp is on, okay? Because they're both red blocks. And I mean, okay, it's not hard to, like, you can figure it out which is which, but I mean, this just helps me more when I'm playing live and I'm more further away from the touch screen, right? And so I can see like, oh yeah, okay, the amp down there, that's my dirt one. So it's just, for me, more so of a visual thing. Now, I don't know a lot about splitting signals and whatnot, and I'm getting there. I'm learning as you know, as you guys learn as well. I mean, I've used Pod Go for 1.5 years, and I've used HX like Helix and the Stomp, you know, for a little more than over 1 year, but not as much as the Pod Go. So, anyways, we're getting there. So let's continue. So what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna leave that there, and then I want to pick up this mixer end. And I want to, sorry, I'll show you what I did there. I hit the action button to pick it up, right? Because it's like a block. You pick it up and drop it there. And now, okay, so now the next space, I'm going to add my cabinet. Now this is a personal choice. You know, I like greenbacks, but use whatever you want, whatever sounds good. Now let's keep it simple with a single. And I like, let's make it a 412er, man. Okay, greenbacks I usually like, so let's start with a greenback. Now you're saying, okay, that's going to sound like crap because you have the clean amp and you have the dirt amp. Now, in some situations, to split the signal, you can have the path set to pan one left and pan one right. So I mean, there's that too. Benefit of this, but let's go to the split, okay? And the split is a Y, so I'm going to have an A-B split, an even split, okay? So I'm gonna get into more of those and look at the purpose of what that is, and we'll do some more videos about that. But okay, so getting back to this now let's assign a switch to turn these things on and off, okay? So we'll go to the clean amp, touch the first switch, okay. Now, while we have that, turn that off, okay? And now you can assign the placator also to the switch. Okay, so now look, now we're switching between amps. So let me play. Okay, isn't that cool? So let's, before we say yes or no, let's fix this up a bit though. So I'm going to just do my little tweaks here. Use your ears for this part, like how you want the distance. I'm not here to tell you about all the little parameters and settings of how it should be, because there is no how it should be, it's how you hear it. I'm just basically showing you, for beginners, how to set up a nice little general rock preset that I think covers all the bare bones and sounds really nice. And then you could take this unit and use this preset to do a gig all night, or sit in with a jam band at an open jam or something, okay? So let me go quickly through here. Yeah, I want a little low cut, and we'll get into more of these things in more detail a little later. So put 100 high cut, yeah, sure. Don't really need a high cut, but let's just put it to 10 just because. And we don't need to touch the level. I want to get this placator. Now the placator is pretty dirty. I usually tend to have it between like 3 and 4. And I turn the bass down because with the Les Paul, right? So I'm going to put the bass to 3. Mid is, I like the mid around there, a little honk. Let's get the presence up. I'll put the treble, not up too much. You know what? I'm going to put the treble about, let's say 6.5. Channel volume. Now this is where it's probably going to be a little loud. So I'm going to put this down to about 6 as well. Now this is, okay, see there's a lot more controls with the dirty. So I'm going to put the master up. I'm going to put it up to about 9. Sag I'll put again, just general things. I forget what the HBE does, but I mean you'll hear it. Like you put on more of these things, it's fat. Like definitely saturation makes it fat. I think the default is pretty good. Now you know what? I'm gonna take the fat off because we're using a Les Paul. Like if you were using a Strat here, you might play with those other special parameters like the you know, the C45, the fat or the saturation. But I think with Les Paul's pretty beefy, so. Let's go here. Now let's hear how this sounds. Okay, so we got our basic switching here. So we've got our clean, we got our dirty, but let's spice it up now. Here's where I would add a boost. That's just me. I'm gonna add, let's go with a kinky boost, and I don't want much drive, so I'm gonna put the drive down. It's just more, I'm gonna put the boost on and bright on. Now I'm gonna assign that to switch, the middle switch. Okay. All right, you can play with that. And if you don't like that too much, I mean, if you want to further tweak stuff, like you could add an EQ block here, and you know what? Why in the hell not? Let's do it. Let's add an EQ. And I tend to like either the 10 band or the Cal EQ. So I'm gonna add a Cal EQ. And you know what, because I do find it's a little boomy, so I'm just gonna put that down to 3. Put that down to 3. I'll take, you know, I'll leave the mid as is. I'm gonna put this up to 2 and put this up to about 3. Let's hear it. See, so that how that changes stuff. So not that I'm saying I like that per se. Let's turn this down a bit. And let's, you know what, let's add that to 1. And let's give a little bit of the bass back here. Okay. Not bad. Okay, so and you can leave that block on. You don't need to assign that to a switch. Now here's what I'm gonna add. Well, before I add delay, I'm gonna put the reverb. Let's add a reverb. Now our choices are gonna be pretty, you know, a little slim here. So I'm gonna go back, go to the legacy. What do we got here? Plate, room, hall. Can do a little hall reverb, put the decay. I don't really have a lot of pre-delay here. High cut. The mix I'm gonna put down a bit. 22. Let's hear this. Okay, I'm gonna add up, increase the mix to 30. If I can get it, okay. And then I'll switch back to the clean. Okay, and again, reverb's kind of like an acquired personal taste in a sense. So you can change that to, there are still some available, but you know, when they're grayed out like that, some certain options are grayed out because of the DSP that we're running here. Now, I mean, this does run quite a bit of DSP, having 2 amps. So, I mean, you could change it up where maybe you change them to preamps instead of amps and save some DSP on that. And you know what, I'm gonna do a video about that too, seeing how much difference that makes. But for now, we'll leave it at that, and let's add a delay. This is the final thing I wanted to add, delay. And I like, I mean, simple delay, and I'm gonna set it up, we'll leave it at the 600. Feedback, I like to put it somewhere between 40 and 45. The mix I'm gonna turn down a bit. Let's put it to 18. And I like the trails on. Oh yeah, I should have done the trails on for this too, for the reverb. Okay, so let's go back to the delay. Let's hear this.
Okay, so that's what you hear coming through the studio monitors. We can turn that mix down a little bit. Let's turn it to 15. So it's kind of like a subtle. All right. Okay, well, and then of course save your work. Hit the two buttons here, save, and you can rename it. Again, if you hit these two and save it, you can rename it. You know, scroll through here, use your characters here, and you can even hit page over here if you want to. I want to delete that. Delete. You know, just I'm gonna call it new and just hit it. Okay. All right, so that's pretty much how you build a basic, I think, a basic rock preset that'll cover your needs. You've got the clean, you know, and then you can switching between a clean and a dirt sound. You got a lead boost. Oh, and we didn't assign the delay. It's on right now, so let's do that. There, and now we've assigned the delay. Okay, so you have that, and that's typically what I would use for most gigs. I mean, sure, would it be nice to have a chorus or another effect, or maybe add a wah? Well, this, you know, right over here, there's a input here where you can add an expression pedal. So you could add, if you could add a single standalone foot switch and an expression pedal, or you could add a dual foot switch to give you two more switches, so you could have 5 in total. I've done that before, but I'm really looking just to have the one unit all by itself, that I can just put this in my gig bag pocket and not worry about anything. Just plug it in and go, whether I'm with an amp or I'm going to an FR or some kind of system where it allows me to use these amp and cab sims. So that's the build, and we'll see you next time. Take care.